Hi, I'm Willie with H5 Technology and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Today is an exciting day. H5 Technology is now a Grandstream reseller and partner, and that is exciting. So we're going to be bringing you a lot of voice over IP videos based on the Grandstream product line. Before we get dug into that, I want to show you our new swag that is in, this is our beta swag, and we are working on this. And this is the very first t-shirt that we've got, and it's got Angry Cloud, and it says, "Is your cloud leaking data?" And then over on the arm you have the H5 Technology logo. I don't know if you can see that or not. So these are going in the wash. My wife is actually making all of the swag. She does a fantastic job. So look for details coming on the swag. We've got to get the washing machine full of the first run of beta shirts, so that's exciting. Now, normally what I would do is I would give you an overview of the UCM, which is the PBX by Grandstream, and that is coming. I also have a Synology video. I have an HP switch here. I have a full little mobile office setup that we're going to do, but someone who asked to not be identified in a video, Grandstream did send me some phones. They sent me the 1625, which is a two-line phone, and then someone who asked to not be identified sent me the GXP2175s, or the 2170s, and wanted to know how to change a ringtone and the background. So this is going to be kind of a cart before the horse type situation, where we're going to take a look at this phone. We're going to plug it in. You can actually see the one back here has the H5 Technology logo and then the Grandstream logo, and this is my desk phone, and our new office phone number is 1-309-446-00IT or 1-309-446-0048. And you'll call in, you'll get the IVR, you can talk to some of the staff. And then we also have, running on our mobile devices, we have the Grandstream, let's see, it is the Grandstream Wave. And so I actually have an extension off of the PBX for my, let's see if I can pull this up here. You know, this is, I don't think you can see it very well, but we'll go over this app too, and we're gonna go over this here in a minute. But I've got a custom, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it, but I got a custom ringtone, and let's see. So the default ringtone that comes on the phones actually sounds like your ringback tone, or your dial tone, your ringer. And so we're going to go through how to change this. Now, there's a few different ways that we're going to be able to do that, and we'll talk about that, but we're going to do it quick and dirty. So anyway, here it is. Here is the GXP2170. It is a power over Ethernet phone, and we will look at the quick start guide. This one can do 12 lines, 6 SIP accounts. It's got a 480 by 272 color TFTP LCD. It's got 5 XML programmable soft keys, 5-way conference. It has got the hook switch, HD audio, dual gigabit ports, of course integrated PoE, but it does come with a PoE adapter. It's got Bluetooth, USB, and a headset jack. We can configure it through the web browser, which is what we're going to do with this one, or you can do audio provisioning. You can also put sidecars and other modules on this. You can see in this picture right here that they have the sidecar attached to it. So if you had like a receptionist area and the receptionist needed, you know, a bigger phone, or, you know, to see everybody who's in the office, to see whether they're on the phone and do like instant transfers and stuff like that. So as always, we get the Grandstream Quick Start Guide. Has several languages here, and just so that we are all talking the same language, let's see if it's got a specification for the PoE. It doesn't say, I can tell you that it is not passive PoE, so it's either got to be AF or AT, and this is not a high wattage device, so it is likely going to be AF. Now your switches, in 2018, your switches, if they do AT, they should be able to do AF, I would think, but then some manufacturer is going to come along and prove me wrong. So, but this doesn't exactly say. So what we're going to do, let's take a look at what else. As always, they send a copy of the GNU GPL license. That's always appreciated. Then you have the phone itself, and you can see back here I've got this phone set up, my office phone. This is what the unit looks like itself. It's pretty thin profile on that phone. On the back we have, let's see, we'll start, so your handset connector is right there, handset port. Then you have your headset port. Then you've got your barrel connector for power if you're using that, if you're not using PoE. Then you have the LAN port, which is this is where your PoE would come in. The PC port right here, this would be a pass-through to your computer. So a lot of times when we set up voice over IP systems, the phone will be on one VLAN because we're running quality of service and things like that. Then the PC that is hooked to the phone will have a different VLAN. And then we have the external device jack. So any of those external options that you're going to be plugging in. And then let's see what else is in this box. Got the handset, power adapter, Ethernet cable, You have a wall mount that is coming here. Then you have the regular stand, and I'll show you it on that because we're just going to take this guy and lay it down. And then you have your phone cord. And then it's important to note that depending on how you're going to mount these phones, this little clip right here comes out. I don't know if you can see this, but if you take this out, I'm going to pull it out, and when it comes from the factory, this is the orientation that it's in. And if you see down here by the fleshy part of my thumb, there's like a little piece of plastic that sticks up. Well, if we take this and we reverse it and we stick it in the handset this way, what that's going to do is that's going to hook the handset so that the handset can't fall. So now you can see that there's that little lip right there. So if we take our handset out and we hold this up, and now I hang this up, helps when you get it on there. Now you can see that it is secure on the phone, but you got to get it on there first. I'm doing this blind, but we're going to go ahead, we're going to plug the Ethernet cable in, we're going to plug the handset cable in. I'm just going to set it over here to the side, and we're going to get into the web interface. It's going to take a few minutes to boot, so while this is booting and getting an IP, we'll take a look at the phone that I have that's live. And there are all kinds of options with the UCM, and the auto deployment is pretty awesome with the Grandstream system. And with Grandstream, we're going to show you why voice over IP does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be expensive, and the interface that you are going to use to manage your system does not have to be ugly or complicated. Real quick, on the handset cord, when you look at this, you're going to notice two different lengths where the cable is straight and doesn't have any coils. So this the longer straight piece, you're going to plug that into the phone, and then this is going to go to the handset side. And you do that so that when you're routing the cables from here, you're not sitting the phone on the coil. So I plug that into the handset port on the back of the phone. I plug this side actually into the handset. I'm going to grab the Ethernet cable that came with this. We're going to plug it in. We're going to boot it up. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Real quick before I plug this in and I get it juiced up, once again, I'm going to take the Ethernet cable, I'm going to plug it into the LAN port, and then the LAN port is going to go to the switch. So we're going to do that, and I'll be right back. And actually, to make this whole thing easier while we're doing this, we are going to take the stand portion of this, and we are going to go ahead and put it on the phone. Now the phone is booting. You get a loading application screen. It is booting for the first time. On the back of the phone, I have two different sets of slots. I can use the top or the bottom depending on how much I want the phone to lean. I'm going to use the bottom. I'm simply going to snap it in there, and then I'm going to set this phone back here on top of the printer so I can turn around, get the IP address and all that good stuff. So you can see on this phone that I have the wallpaper customized. If I turn it at an angle, you get a little bit better like that. It's not real easy to see, but it's the H5 technology logo with Grandstream. It's got the time, it's got Bluetooth status, weather, all that good stuff. And so we're going to take a look at this. Once this other phone boots, we're going to get in there, we'll upgrade the firmware. Like I said, a little later on, we're going to get into auto provisioning with the actual UCM system itself. And then we can do a lot of configuration where we can do mass uploads of the custom ringtones and things like that, where you don't have to do it one-off. That is going to be in some of the videos a little later on, because we are starting to, that's not just like basic stuff where you're going to rip it out of the box, and we've got to set up several things, several options, and a couple servers to take care of all that. But I am going to show you how to change the ringtone on this, at least out of the box. And oh, so I have auto provision. I have auto provision turned on my phone system, and since my phone system is on the same network, it went ahead and it hold on a second, let me change the lighting. Yeah, I forgot that I had auto provision turned on. It went ahead and it provisioned this phone with an extension. Yeah, you can't see that, it's even worse now. But it went ahead and assigned extension 5004, and I've got the provisioning server automatically pushing. You can kind of see the H5 technology wallpaper, so it's got the same wallpaper. So we didn't have to do anything because I had auto provisioning turned on. We will grab the IP address though, so I'm going to hit the middle button here, and I am going to go to status, and I'm going to go down to, I'm going to push down to network status, and the IP is 66.196. So I'm going to write that down real quick, and that is the URL that we're going to get into. And I don't believe that I pushed the I don't believe that I pushed the custom ringtone. I don't think I did that. So it is set up, voicemail set up, auto provision does everything. So if you if you have a Grandstream phone system, we're going to get to this. You can pre-set up the types of phones that you have, the models that you have. You can just start plugging phones in, and then you can go back and assign names to the extensions. But you it'll auto deploy however many, and that's what you saw there. So I'm sorry, I forgot I had that turned on. But let's call that extension and see if it's got that same monotone ringtone. So it's extension 5004, and you can hear that. That sounds exactly like if you had the receiver up, you know, the handset up to your ear, and it's exactly the same dial tone. Versus if we call my extension, you get, I love that. So we will take a look at how we can change that. So let's hop on over to this phone, which was 192.168.66.196. All right, so here it is, and I know that for some of the things I've been recording in 720. The web interface on this thing is kind of big, so I'm trying this at 1080. If it doesn't work for you, let me know in the comments, and then I'll know that I'll have to do all of this other stuff in 720, or I'll have to start doing a lot of the zoom in, zoom out, and stuff like that. Default username and password are going to be admin. We never want to save that, but here it tells us you're currently using a default password to log in. So we're going to go ahead and modify this, and I'm just going to make my user password and my admin password the same, since it's the lab company system, and this thing's probably going to get all kinds of crazy. So now if we go back here, you can see where account 1 was automatically registered to the UCM, and I do have the UCM 6202 online right now. And these phones are, I mean, there's so many options, so many things that you can do with these, and we're going to really dig into these. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Accounts, Account 1, and Call Settings. And you can see right here, this is what is going to control our ringtone. And on this screen, you can have an account ringtone, or you can have, so that's like, on this account number 1, like your default ringtone will be that. Then below this, you can actually set caller ID to have different ringtones. So if my wife was calling, I could have a different ringtone for my wife, so that when she is calling, I would know that it was her. You could also differentiate between internal and external calls, because we can use a pattern. So we can put a pattern in here that identifies all of the 5000 series extensions, and then give that a different ringtone than what we are going to give an external call. Now, like I said, we can do all this with an auto provisioning server, and we're going to get there at some point, but this is to get my buddy who sent me this phone. He's got a couple of these deployed, and he really wants to change that. So this is what we're doing. So you can see custom ringtone 1, 2, and 3. So if you click on this, it's going to do custom ringtone. But on the lower end phones, you have to do a conversion. You have to do a wave to bin conversion, and then you have to upload that bin file to the phone. With these phones, you can actually upload a wave file directly to this phone. And we're going to do that real quick. Something else that we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, so the 1.0.9.69 firmware is available, and we are only on the 1.0.8.8 as the core. The base is 1.0.8.23. So what I did was I downloaded the latest version. We're going to go to upgrade and provisioning right here. We can set this to do auto firmware. Right now we're going to hit start. We're going to select the firmware, and once we've selected our firmware file that we downloaded, we're going to click start. Now it's going to take a few minutes. It's going to be preparing the device, upgrading the firmware, and right now you can see it says it's well, you can't really see, but it says you have to take my word for it that it says it is downloading the firmware file, and it's going to go through a few iterations of this. Now when we get to actually setting up the UCM system and these phones, so when we get to the deploying the UCM and the switch and the phones, so you can get some of this up close stuff, I am going to be shooting video with that's just an iPod Touch, but it'll do 1080, and this is what I do some of my live streams from. So we'll be shooting this video from a little bit of a different vantage point. I'm looking to shake the videos up this year. I bought lighting and the whole bit, so look forward to that. And this is coming in the next couple weeks. The Synology with the HP switch, and the Grandstream phone system, and the Grandstream phones, and the Grandstream cameras, and the whole bit. So that is coming soon, very soon. Alright, so the firmware is still upgrading. It says it's loading the application. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and when the upgrade process is done, we'll be able to get back in here and upload that custom ringtone. Alright, so the upgrade wants us to click the start button. So we're going to click the start button, and it looks like it is still actually updating on the phone. Yes, it is doing a firmware update. So we're going to wait for that portion to complete. And while we're actually waiting on that, I've partnered with SIP.us to bring you the best SIP trunks in the United States. Their support, you will never experience anything like it. On Easter, I had a question about my SIP trunk. I opened up a ticket. I did not expect to hear anything back until today, and I would not have been upset if I wouldn't even got a call back until tomorrow. Within 10 minutes, the tech support crew over at SIP.us, they actually called me on the phone on Easter, and answered all of my questions. It was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to throw my full confidence behind SIP.us, and I actually have a special link for you. If you're interested in SIP.us, down in the description you can use the link. It's http://h5.sip.us. Using that link will get you free number porting. And they also, if you're an MSP, you can also use that link and go sign up for their reseller program, and you will also get some special added benefits for that. So SIP.us, and like I said, my URL is http://h5.sip.us. These guys are phenomenal. The support is just, it's awesome, and they are based in Atlanta, Georgia. All the support's local. You will not regret it. Just like you will not regret going with a Grandstream voice over IP system. Grandstream's been around for a while, and when you talk about ATAs and things like that, which takes an analog phone and can make it work on a voice over IP system, there's no doubt that they are the world-class leader in those types of devices. And they've been around for a while, and their stuff just keeps getting better and better. You've seen the access points in the router. The phones are a much more mature product, but they also have the door phone, which I'm going to be featuring soon, and their regular security cameras, and they can actually all tie into the SIP-based phone system, and you can do alerting and phone calls and things like that with the cameras. And they also give away their NVR software. We're going to be featuring all of this. So this is a really exciting time. And if you've got any questions, if you want to deploy a Grandstream system, get a hold of H5, get a hold of me. Go to h5llc.com down there, fill that out. We will help you. I will show you that voice over IP does not need to be complicated. The system does not need to be difficult, and it does not need to be expensive. So let's see where we are at. It looks like it is validating the firmware file. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and as soon as that update is done, we will log into the phone and get down to the brass tacks here. Alright, the phone is rebooted. So we have to remember that we changed that password, and you only get 4. That's funny. I changed the password, but I know what it is, which is strange. Oh, we're locked out for 5 minutes. So, we will be right back. So, I accidentally had caps lock on, I think. And so, we waited our 5 minutes. We're back in the phone. So, we are upgraded to the latest and greatest firmware. And so, I'm going to show you now how to upload that ringtone. Alright, so in order to do this, you're going to need a WAV file. And for me, I've got that honking sound. So after you have your WAV file that you're going to use, and probably not very many people are going to use that one that I have, although I'm thinking about changing another one to like a duck quacking. You know, it's inside the office, nobody hears it. Alright, so we're going to go to Settings, and then we're going to go to Preferences, and we're going to go to Ringtone. There are lots of settings on this screen, but what we're looking for is this default ringtone down here. And right now it says the default ringtone is the system ringtone. If we click the little drop down arrow here, we get this option right here at the top that says upload new ringtone file. And if we click that, it brings up, this option of, hey, what do you want to, where do you want to find this file? So I'm going to select my WAV file, and then we're going to upload it. So I'm going to find my WAV file, bike horn ringtone, and I'm going to save and apply. So now, since that is set, here we'll do this. So we'll go to System Ringtone, and we'll save and apply, and we'll call extension 5004, and you can hear it. Let's see here. So we'll call 5004. Pretty default, right? So now what we're going to do is we are going to select this drop down, we're going to select bike horn ringtone. We're going to save and apply. And now when we call that extension, okay, we select that as our default ringtone. Then we're going to go over to account 1, audio settings. We're going to go over to account 1, call settings, and we're going to do account ringtone. And we are not going to select the system ringtone. We are going to select, we could select that default ringtone, but we are going to select bike horn. Or since we set the bike horn as default, we'll save and apply. And now, and since we're in the web interface, you can see right here this icon's flashing. That means that the phone is taking a call. So now what we could do is right here on our match incoming caller ID. So if we wanted it to be, if we wanted, what is this extension? I think this is 5002. So if we wanted 5000, I think it's 5002. Yeah, we're either 5000. Yeah, 5002. I could make it so that it's the system ringtone. So now, if I call it, it goes back to that because it is matching this rule. So that's pretty cool, right? If I take this out and then hit save and apply, now it should go back to the default ringtone. That's all there is to it. So I know this was kind of a long video, but I really wanted to show you a little bit about the phone, how to update it, how to get locked out, how to wait 5 minutes, how to get back in, and then how to change that ringtone. And then you can also change the wallpaper and everything like that. Like I said, we're going to get into a lot of this. We're going to take you from not knowing anything about voice over IP and Grandstream to deploying your own systems. So it is going to be fantastic. Now, I do have down below my Amazon shop. If you click on that link, you're going to find the UCM, you're going to find the phones, and I'm going to start populating that with all of the Grandstream products that you're going to start seeing here. There's also that h5.sip.us, so you can check those guys out. Also, you can go over to h5llc.com. You can contact me, contact H5 for voice over IP, networking, you name it. We do a little bit of everything. So you can contact us with that. You can also sign up for the newsletter so that if this YouTube thing ever goes away, I can still contact you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment and share. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Please use those affiliate links down there. They don't change your price. In fact, for sip.us, it saves you any porting charges that you may have incurred. And as always, thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.